So the first solid principle is the single responsibility principle, which states that a class should only have one reason to change, meaning that it should only have one responsibility or purpose. And this principle encourages you to create classes that are more focused and perform one single well-defined task rather than multiple tasks. So by breaking up classes into smaller, more focused units, makes code easier to understand, maintain and test. So first of all, what we will do is we will create an example that violates the single responsibility principle, and then we will refactor that code so that it adheres to this principle. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to create a user class. And this is going to have two C# properties. So we're going to have a username, and we are going to have an email property. And we're also going to have in this user class a method for registering a user. So once they sign up to our platform, this should be register. This method will be called once the user is signing up to our platform. And at the top we're going to have some register user logic here. So this logic would be stuff like fetching the user from the database by their email, and if they already exist, maybe we could redirect them to the login page, all that kind of stuff related to registering a user, saving them to the database. And then once all that's done, we can send the user an email notification. Okay, so we're going to create an email sender class now for sending email notifications. And this email sender is going to have a send email method, which takes an email that we want to send the email to, and we will have a message. And in here we're just going to console log, and we'll say sending email to sending email to email, and then we will put the message. Okay, so now we can use this class to send the user an email notification once they've signed up successfully. So we can say email sender, and then the message we will say welcome to our platform. Okay, so in this example, this user class is actually violating the single responsibility principle because it manages user data. Okay, so it contains all data related to a user, such as their username or email, and it also contains the logic for registering a user. Okay, so this class has more than one reason to change. So you can see here that the single responsibility principle states that a class should only have one reason to change, meaning that it should only have one responsibility or purpose. But this class has two reasons to change, because if we change, if we make modifications to our user data management, for example, we might add more fields here. We might add first name, gender, hobbies, age, all that kind of stuff. If we add that to our user, we would have to modify this class. We'd have to add more fields. But another reason that we could modify this class, or another reason why this class would need to be changed, is if we changed the logic of registering a user. For example, we may choose to fetch a user from the database by their username rather than by their email. So let's refactor this class so that it satisfies the single responsibility principle. So to do that, we can create a separate class called user service. So let's do that. And in this user service class, we will we will put all of the methods or all of the business logic related to registering a user, or maybe logging a user in, or updating a user. All those kind of methods can go into this user service. But we do need access to certain user data. So what we can do is we can just pass the user into this method, and then we can call user.email. Okay, so in this refactored code, the user class is now solely responsible for representing user data. Okay, so it has one responsibility, a single responsibility. And the user service class now handles user registration. This class can contain all sort of business logic related to users. So currently we only have a register function, but we could also have a login method or an update method to manage any sort of business logic related to a user. And this separation of responsibilities adheres to the single responsibility principle, and so it makes our code easier to understand, maintain, and extend.